Hello, welcome to the Echo Tips Podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about a relatively new feature that I learned about, as did some of my fellow podcasters, called local control of your Amazon Echo for those times when your internet is out. But can you still do stuff with your Echo? Well, we're going to learn about this feature and what echoes it applies to. But before we get into that in any sort of detail, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then I'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by the New Vision program at Goodwill. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission services help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, hello again and welcome back. As I mentioned earlier today, we're going to be talking about a new feature on the Echo, at least relatively new. I'm not too sure when it came out exactly, but I know it snuck up on me and a few other podcasters. It's called Local Voice Control. All right, so this feature, before I delve into that in kind of detail, I'd like to welcome our new listeners. My name is David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program, and for our returning listeners, we'd like to welcome you back as well. Very likely by the time you're hearing this, we'll have broke 70,000 listens to our podcast, and we're coming up on, I believe it's going to be, we're completing our third year. If you consider 52 weeks in a year, we're coming up on starting a fourth year of our podcast, so we're getting really close. Okay, so local voice control. So let me see if this sounds familiar to you.
Your device is offline. Swipe down from the top of your screen. Then go to Settings, Network.
Okay, so I'll shut our ears off. So you may have heard that many times in the past if your internet was on the fritz, right? Your Echo pretty much becomes a dumb box and can't pretty much do anything other than display the time. Now, you may have encountered, though, the beauty of the alarms still go off, so if you need to wake up in the morning and your internet went out during the middle of the night, it will still continue to go off. And a few fundamental maybe things like that. But you can't really verbally interact with your Echo once the internet is out. Now, let me qualify that real quickly, what I mean by the internet is out. So basically, I mean, it's as if the phone line was cut or the cable line outside your house was cut. Maybe all the electronics and the Wi-Fi inside your house is broadcasting, but the greater connection to the World Wide Web is out, okay? So just for clarity, that means the Wi-Fi could still be popping up. It sees the Wi-Fi, but the overall internet connection is down. Now, often many of you have probably encountered this. You have to run over and unplug the cable modem or the DSL modem or whatever it is, replug it in, and hope that fixes it. Otherwise, you're going to have to be phoning your local ISP, right, and say, hey, something's wrong. A tree branch fell on the line or something, right? Okay, so what's interesting about this new feature, and my hat off to Stacy on IoT Podcast, she mentioned this, and I had never heard of it before, that it snuck it up on her and it snuck up on me. So it's called Local Voice Control. Now, it's described here on the website, and you can easily Google this. You can Google voice control Amazon Echo, and it'll pop right up in your Google search. But here, described on Amazon's own website, it says, local voice control supports certain requests such as the controlling of compatible lights, switches, and other plugs. When the Echo device with a built-in smart home hub is not connected to the internet. So basically, you get certain local voice control features that can still be utilized by your voice even though the internet may be out. And as it mentions, these are and certain Echoes that have this kind of built-in home hub feature. So I would imagine as the chipsets get cheaper and cheaper, that's going to probably be built into pretty much all the Echoes. But right now, the currently supported devices are, let me scroll down here, are the Echo Plus first generation, the Echo Plus second generation, and I would imagine forthcoming Echo Pluses if they're going to continue to do that line. Although like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to start just building this into the future Echoes, especially with Sidewalk and other compatibility things, and with the upcoming Matter standard, which replaced the chip standard for home automation things. Okay, also, I didn't finish the devices. Another supported device is the Echo Show second generation and up. So I just looked on Amazon. The second generation is the current 2021 releases. You have the Echo Show 5, the 8, and the 10. And we discussed some of those distinctions in a previous episode. So those devices have this home hub functionality, and hence you could go in and turn this feature on. So where would you find this feature? Well, you'll need to open your A-Lady app on your phone or tablet. You're going to need to go to the bottom right corner and tap on Devices. Alternatively, you could hit More menu button, then go to Settings, and then Devices. Either way, you're going to end up in this Devices panel, which shows all your different Echoes. You're going to navigate to the Echo device with that built-in Smart Hub home feature, so it's got to be one of those Echoes. I think in most cases, my listeners, it's probably going to be an Echo Show second gen, right? Or above. And then you're going to scroll down through that particular Echo's devices. So this has to be enabled device by device. You can't just enable it globally. And you're going to look for local voice control. And then you're going to toggle that feature on. It's by default, it's off. And once you do that, you get this certain capability. It says here if your Echo has that built-in smart home hub feature, and you're not connected to the internet, you can still continue to use your voice to do some of the following. So with your voice, you could control, even though the internet is out, certain compatible smart home devices, such as those switches, those lights, maybe power plugs and the like. Also, you could ask, even though the internet's out, you could ask for the time and date. You could stop or cancel alarms, reminders, and timers, even though you couldn't set up new ones. And you could also, here it says, control the device's volume verbally. And let's see what else it says here. Alexa responds to the inquiry, what can you do offline? Oh, okay, that's cool. So that might be an easy way to determine if that scope of features expands in the future. It says here to confirm that your device is compatible, so this might be helpful if you're not too sure. With the smart home device, it says you can directly connect to your Echo device with a built-in smart home hub. Go to the Alexa app. It says then select devices, navigate to your smart home device, and then select the settings icon, and then it says here, review the connected via information. Okay, so somewhere in there you might surface this capability in the actual smart home switch, light bulb, whatever it is. Okay, so like I said, if you want to find out more additionally about this feature set, you can, of course, Google voice control, local control, and then Amazon Echo. And then you'll find an Amazon page about it. Well, anyway, just thought I'd bring that out. It was new to me. I'd never heard about it. Applies to those Echo Plus line of devices, but also to the newer generations of the Echo Show. So anywho, and hopefully we'll see this as some of the new Matter standard rolls out in some of the home automation devices. All right, well, I'm David Ward for the New Vision program. We thank you for listening. It's time to now go practice some of those many things that you've learned. If you'd like to reach out to me with thoughts, comments, or maybe future suggestions for episodes, you can do so at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys on Facebook or Twitter. And we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.